Betrayal never announces itself honestly. It arrives disguised as concern, wrapped in words like safety and best interests. When my son Thomas brought me to Rose Hill Care Facility, nobody used the word prisoner. They spoke of temporary arrangements and making sure I was okay. Thomas kissed my cheek as he prepared to leave. "It's temporary, Mom, just until we're sure you're stable." Then he walked away, leaving me standing in an unfamiliar lobby, my keys confiscated, my phone abandoned on a table. I waited 25 minutes before approaching the desk where Sandra, a young nurse with red lipstick, sat reviewing files. When I asked about leaving, confusion flickered across her face. "You're checked in, Mrs. Leland. You're a full resident," she explained with practiced patience. "I didn't sign anything," I said, my voice trembling. "Your son did. He has power of attorney." They escorted me to room 213. The bed was made with hospital corners, pulled impossibly tight. My clothes hung in a half-empty closet, though someone had decided which pieces of my life deserved to follow me. A single photograph of my late husband, Harold, sat on the windowsill. A calculated detail meant to evoke home. But this wasn't home. Home was 1117 Darrell Lane, the pale yellow bungalow with creaky porch swings and hydrangeas I'd trimmed every summer since 1984. Home was the house Harold and I bought together, paid off through grocery store budgets and broken wrists from waitressing to my 50s. That home was gone, erased in a single afternoon. The next morning, I requested to speak with the administrator. "Only comes in on Wednesdays," the nurse said. It was Monday. "I'd like to call my son." She consulted her chart. "No phone privileges listed under your care plan." 3 days passed with no calls, no visits. Then Sandra appeared with a blue cardigan from my old house. Thomas had cleared out the closet, she explained, sending over what he chose not to discard. Inside the bag, one dress, a scarf, and my winter coat, the old one with the pocket that never zipped. That evening, I hung the coat on my chair. Absently, I slipped my hand into the sagging pocket, searching for forgotten receipts as I'd done countless times before. My fingers touched paper, thick, glossy paper. I pulled out a lottery ticket. The numbers were filled in with black ink. The purchase date, 1 week ago, the same day Thomas brought me here. I turned it over, no scratches, still intact. For the first time since walking through Rose Hill's doors, I smiled. I wasn't a helpless old woman anymore. I was someone holding a secret that could change everything. I kept the ticket hidden for 3 days, telling no one. On Thursday, I waited until the night nurse, a young woman who spent shifts on her phone, passed by. "Sorry to bother you. I think I left something in my old coat. Could I check?" She waved me toward the front desk without suspicion. No security cameras, no locks, just an old phone with a scratchy dial tone. I looked up the lottery website. The winning draw was posted, Saturday's numbers. My hands trembled as I compared them. My ticket matched all 6. $62 million, unclaimed. I stood there while the night nurse scrolled through text a few feet away, completely unaware that 10 inches of paper in my coat pocket had just shifted the entire balance of power. The next morning, Sandra handed me a schedule for bingo. I looked her in the eye. "I'd like to speak to a lawyer." She laughed. "What, are you suing someone?" "I just want to draft a letter. Your son handles all your paperwork. Then I want a lawyer to confirm that's still legal. It is if you don't want to be reported for financial manipulation of a senior." Her smile faded. I called Thomas that afternoon. Voicemail. I left a message. "Hi, Thomas. Just wanted to let you know I found something important in my coat, something you might be interested in. Call me." Let him wonder. In the common room, someone had left a newspaper. I found an advertisement, "Consultations for Elderly Estate Planning. Discretion guaranteed. I memorized the number. The next day, I borrowed the staff phone and called. I'm calling for a relative in a care home. She has financial concerns, power of attorney issues. The woman said they could send an associate. Thursday afternoon, 2:30. Thursday came. At 2:29, a dark green sedan pulled up. A man in a neat gray suit emerged. Andrew Myers, estate planning attorney. We met in the back garden, a concrete square with artificial plants. "Your son controls everything?" he asked. I nodded. Then I reached into my coat and pulled out the envelope, sliding it toward him. He examined the ticket, checked the date, then looked up. "Have you verified this?" "Yes. Saturday's draw, all 6 numbers, $62 million. Does anyone else know?" "No." "Then we need to move quickly." Andrew outlined the strategy. Trust accounts, blind transfers, anonymous claiming through his office, protection from family interference. He'd done this before with elder clients and sudden wealth. "Do you want to give any of it to your family?" he asked. I shook my head. They left me here without conversation. I don't owe them anything. "Then you'll need a new will." "I want most of it in a trust for my granddaughter Rosie. She's 21, in college, never asked me for a dime, never treated me like something to store away. We'll make it ironclad." By Saturday, Andrew called with news. The numbers were verified, the legal structure was ready. The claim would be filed through a specialized trust, anonymous, untraceable. "You'll be listed under a pseudonym, Clara Whittemore. I want Rosie's portion locked until she's 30, but with access for education, housing, emergencies. I've never seen someone think this clearly this quickly," he said. I've had a lot of time to think. What I didn't tell him was that every night, while others watched television, I sat constructing a new life in my mind. The money couldn't buy back years of being ignored or erase Thomas's absences, but it could buy freedom. That evening, my granddaughter Rosie called. "Grandma, Dad says he might sell your car." My heart tightened. That old sedan was nothing special, but Harold had picked it out. "I'll take care of it," I told her. "I just miss you. You sound different, though." "Different how?" "Stronger. I'm getting my legs under me." I made myself invisible after that. In places like Rose Hill, you become furniture if you stop reacting. Don't complain, don't flinch, just smile and be agreeable. They stop looking at you. From there, you can see everything. Who steals supplies, who forgets medications, who's sleeping with the janitor. I wasn't planning to stay long enough to blow whistles. I just needed cover. Friday arrived and Thomas appeared. I saw my old Camry in the lot. He'd replaced my "Support Local Libraries" bumper sticker with "I'm not arguing, I'm just explaining why I'm right." He walked in with that sideways smile. "Hey, Ma, you look good." After small talk, he scratched his neck nervously. "I've been thinking, once the estate stuff clears up, maybe we could get that house listed. Prices are high." "My house?" "Well, it's not like you're using it. I built that house with your father." His face shifted. The real Thomas who hated being challenged. "I'm just trying to be practical." "Thank you for visiting, but I'm tired." As he turned to leave, I said, "Oh, one more thing. I found something in my coat pocket." Color drained from his face. "You did?" "A reminder." "That's nice." "Very nice," I said, then walked away. The next week, Andrew came during visiting hours, signing in as Pastor William Sharp. We met in the family lounge. "Everything's ready," he said. "Checks issued, funds secured, $43.7 million after taxes and fees." He handed me documents. "This is your new will. It invalidates everything your son pressured you into signing." He hesitated. "I had my office do background on Thomas and Marcia. They've already listed your house with a private agent. Photos taken last week. Marcia, posed as your representative, goes live Monday. My stomach turned, not from anger, but confirmation. They were actively erasing me. By Monday, the court will have an injunction ready, Andrew assured me. They won't touch your property or your name. I sent a car to my old house, a black Mercedes with tinted windows. The driver handed Marcia a white envelope from a fictitious company called Riverside Estate Consultants, offering $1.3 million cash for the house. 2 hours later, Rosie called. Some real estate company wants to buy your house, all cash. Dad's freaking out. I smiled. People value things differently when they think they can profit. Did you do this? Some people need reminding that not everything is theirs just because they're standing on it. Thomas called that night, leaving a hesitant message about talking and clearing the air. For the first time since Harold died, my son was learning what it felt like to be on the outside. I didn't call back. Friday afternoon, Thomas and Marcia appeared at Rose Hill, all blazers and practiced smiles. They sat across from me with stale cookies between us. "We've been thinking about you," Thomas began. "We realize we maybe moved too fast." Marcia leaned in. "We just want what's best for you." "You've made that very clear." Thomas mentioned the mysterious house offer. "You didn't mention wanting to sell." "Because I don't." "We're just trying to understand who might have sent that letter." "I didn't ask for it, but I wasn't surprised." Marcia shifted uncomfortably. "Still, it's not a great time to keep it empty." "I'm not dead." They both froze. "I'm not dead, and this is still my life." Long silence. "No one's saying otherwise," Thomas finally said. "But you acted otherwise when you emptied my closets, when you cut off my bank access, when you sold the piano." That landed. He hadn't expected me to know. "You thought I'd go quietly. You thought a tidy room and soft peas was all I needed." Thomas stood. "We don't have to do this right now." "Bring the car back?" "My car, the one you're thinking of selling." "It's in use. It's registered to me." "Technically, yes." "Then technically, it's theft." They left 10 minutes later, rattled but trying not to show it. The courtroom was small, no grand benches or cameras. Just a few rows of seats and a judge who looked like she'd seen too many people lie. I sat beside Andrew, hand steady, wearing the shoes Rosie gave me 3 Christmases ago. I'd kept them for better days. This counted. Thomas sat across the aisle, lips pressed together. Marcia wasn't there, probably advised to stay away. The hearing lasted 36 minutes. Andrew presented documents, timelines, medical statements, financial activity, furniture sold without consent, home listings without signatures. "Mrs. Leland," the judge asked, "do you feel you were placed in care against your will?" "Yes. I wasn't asked. I was told." "And the power of attorney. Did you fully understand what you were signing?" "No, because I signed nothing. The papers were processed without my knowledge." Andrew passed over psychological assessments, full cognitive evaluation, no signs of dementia or diminished capacity. The judge looked at Thomas. "Your client claims good faith, but financial good faith includes transparency, which was clearly absent." She turned back to me. "Are you requesting full revocation of the existing power of attorney?" "Yes." "And replacement?" "No, I wish to hold it myself." Request granted. Just like that. Gavel, stamped order. Outside, Thomas followed me down the courthouse steps. "Ma, wait, I didn't mean to hurt you." "But you did." "I thought I was doing the right thing." "No, you thought you were the only one who could." "I don't want the money," he said suddenly.
I never did. I smiled. That's good, because now you'll never touch it. He blinked. I stepped closer. You treated me like a phase to be managed, a thing to box up. But I raised you. I paid for your braces. I stood outside your school concerts. I taught you how to tie your shoes and sign your name. I paused. And now I'm teaching you how to lose. Then I walked away, without looking back. I left Rose Hill on a Tuesday morning. No one noticed. Andrew had arranged everything, a transfer for independent reassessment of living needs. I packed 2 bags. The staff gave me generic hugs. Sandra said, "Don't forget us." I won't. Just not the way they expected. Before leaving, I slipped something under Hilda's pillow. A note with the lawyer's number and a line from my friend Lillian, who'd died weeks earlier. To the day no one asks where you're going. The car drove me to a narrow street with no signs. At the end stood a small white cottage with blue shutters. Mine. I walked through the front door and took off my shoes. The floor was cool and clean. It smelled like new wood and sea salt. On the counter, a teapot already waiting. Andrea had everything. In the living room, 1 chair, 1 lamp, 1 window facing water. No television, just silence. The kind you choose. That evening, I made tea and wrote in a new notebook. I was never small, just made to feel that way. That night, I slept without a lock on the door, without someone checking if I'd taken pills, without Thomas's name on my accounts, without Marcia's voice in my ears. In the morning, I woke when I wanted, made toast with too much butter, sat in the sun, opened the window, and remembered the sound of my own breath. If this story made you feel something, remember, you are not a burden, you are not finished, and no one gets to lock you away and call it love.